See, whatever, when you open a URL, let's say I open a URL here. Okay. When I'm opening this URL, this data which I am seeing, this is not like it is creating somewhere, right? It is stored somewhere from where the data is fetched out and you are seeing it here. So how really it works to understand that? So in a very layman term, I can say there will be a database here. There will be a model here with UI here. Let's say this is your database, which are all the data which the application wants. This is the, let's say, MVC model. And this is the UI, which you are seeing in the browser. Okay, UI in the browser. Okay, so what happens is when you are trying to open that open that application in the browser, let's say I try to open this application in the browser. Earlier days, when microservices was not that much used, so what was happening? There was a database, and in this MVC model, the whole code will be there. Let's say to fetch 5 element here, the code will be written, which will interact with the database, and it will show here. That means let me explain you. So it has to, let's say, show 5 data from database. So what will happen? Every, let's say 4 data itself. So let's say data 1 here. Okay, D1 I'm writing. This is D2. Okay, sorry. D2, D3, and this is D4, let's say. So what was happening earlier? Sorry. Let's just D3, D3, and this is D4. This I'm trying to make you understand in non-technical ways so that you can have an idea what is the use of API. Okay.
Yep.
So earlier what is happening, if I have to show these 4 data here in the UI, I have to show here all the data D1, D2, D3, D4. I have to show all the data here in the UI. So what was happening? I have a data code written here, which will fetch all the data from this database, and that will make the data flow to the UI. Okay, and that will make the data flow to this UI. So what was happening earlier? We'll write a single code to fetch all the data. So what was happening earlier, if I have to show all the data that D1, D2, D3, D4 from database in the UI, so what I will do, I have to write a code here in MVC model. So what it will do, it will fetch all the data, but that code will be a single code, which will be accessing all the data 1, data 2, data 3, and data 4. Understanding?
Okay.
So in this model, what will happen? Let's say there is a fault in fetching data 2. There is a fault in data 2, then I have to go and debug the whole code. That means the entire code was written here. Let me explain the new model, then you'll understand.
What is this NVC stands for, like NVC model?
I've given a model, like just a name of the model. So
Okay,
that
this
is
is
one
name.
of the,
Okay, it's not like standard. Okay.
not standard. So now
Okay.
what is happening? You'll try to understand. Database. This is UI. And This is the API for data 1. This is the API for data 2. API for data 3. Data 2. So see, earlier what was happening, I was writing a single code to fetch all the data, which will be shown in the UI. So now, let's say some issue occurred in data 3. So what I have to do, I have to open the whole code, I have to go through the whole code, then identify that, okay, the error has happened here. This is the older model. Now what they have done, for all this data, for data, what I'll do, I'll create one API. So, so data 1, this API will take care of fetching data 1 and showing it in the UI. It has nothing to do with data 2, data 3, data 4. Similarly, data 2 API will fetch only data 2 and show in UI. So tomorrow, if any issue occur in data 2, so I have to only look to the code for this. I don't have to look the code for this. So what happens now? My maintenance got reduced. It made the code easier for me to understand or to debug if any issue occur. And also there is one more advantage is that if let's say somewhere I want to use the data 2 again, I don't want, see here I have just written a single code. Let's say again in somewhere I want to use the data 2. So I have to again write the same code again in that particular block of code. But here as I have only a dedicated API for data 2, somewhere I need data 2, I can just call this API. So what will happen? Here my code also I have to write less. Maintenance is less. Code writing is also less. That's why every development model is now switching to this API model that we are calling microservices.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes.
So you understood why we nowadays every application now is switching to microservices?
Yes. And so like not every piece will have its own API, right? Like it may be like logical
See, when
group
I'm
of
telling,
codes will be wrapped with the API, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
logical
So
group of codes.
yeah,
Okay.
so when I'm telling API means I just given you an explanation in layman term. So when I tell microservice means a single functionality it is doing. Let's say there can be a microservices which will fetch the customer name. So that may be one API. That whole functionality that will do. That it will fetch one name. Now, when you go to the application, it is not a single page, right? This is one page. Okay, when I click on this, it went to some other page. The application is just like a book. Okay,
Yep.
a book has multiple pages, right? 100, 200 pages. That become a book. In book, you have 100, 200 pages. Similarly, this application also have different pages. It's not like that. There is just one page. See, the URL is also changing. Just like each page has page number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right?
Yep.
Similarly, this was having just demo.com. If I click on this, it will have demo.com alerts window. So here you can say, you can just relate it to the page number. This also is changing. So it is also a multiple pages. Application is also a combination of multiple pages. It's not a single page. These are
Right.
called
Yep.
web pages. There we call paper pages in the book. Here we called as web pages. So application is also a combination of multiple pages. Now to fetch the, let's say I'm using this older model. Okay. So what will happen? In page 1, I want the employee name. I'll write the code here. One code in page 2, again, I need the application name. Again, I have to write the same code to fetch it from the database. But let's say I have an API which will just fetch the application, let's say employee name. So same API I can use in page 1 also, same API I can use in page 2 also. No need to write the code again and again. And
Yeah,
again,
you can just
if
like
any
to call the same API
same
multiple
API.
times.
If also in future some disturbance or any issue happen in that distribution of application name, just have to go to a single code. That is a small code. I have to debug it and understand. But here in this older model, I have to go to the page 1, read the whole code, debug it, go to page 2, read the whole code, debug it. So it was very time consuming and also maintenance was costly. But here in
Yes.
API model, it is very simple. Understood?
Yes.
So, okay. So nowadays everyone is moving to this. microservices, and that ultimate is your API. Understood?
Yep.
Cool. Now, so when I talk about API, so API also have different types of commands. Okay. So one is get, one is post, put, delete. But as a tester, you are not going to delete anything. Neither you are going to create anything as a tester. Mostly what you will be doing, you may update the API or you may fetch the data from API. Creation and deletion are more related to developer point of view. You are not authorized as a tester to delete anything. Okay. Or you are not authorized either to create anything. You have to use the existing already created APIs by developer to get the data and validate. If you do some changes, what will happen, and all this thing you can do. But you are not authorized to create or delete. That is not, from a QA point of view, that is not means you are not going to do basically. Understood? So get basically, so let's understand what the different commands are available for API. Okay. So one is get. One thing. See. So what are the basic component of a API? So basic component of a API is the endpoint. Okay, this is the endpoint which I will hit using API command. That can be a get. Get means to get the data, what is present in the API. So to get all the data, so that is get. Post is to create, which is not of our importance. Next is put. Okay. So to modify, to modify. This also we can use, but it is also rarely used. Mostly we will be dealing with get, to get the data. Put also we may use when we are doing API testing. This is API automation. I'll show you. We are not doing API testing. So when you do API testing, then put is important because you have to give different values to modify the API and see how the API is responding. Okay. And the next is delete. Delete means you just delete it. Delete that API. But that also as a keyword you are not going to do. Okay. So now let's understand what are the basic components of API. Okay. So here you can see this API, what it is trying to do. This API is trying to do, you will be having an endpoint. So there is also different applications in which you can test the API. Before going to automation, we have to do the manual testing for the API. So this is one of the API dog is one of the application in which I can do the API testing also. Okay, in which I can do the API testing. So what are the basic things you have to understand before doing an API testing? First is the endpoint. The endpoint you can say is the address where it will hit. Let's say send a post. So it need to have an address where it will be delivered. So that you can say is the endpoint. Second is your body. Body means inside that post what you have kept to be delivered. That is your body. Next is your header. Header is like if you are sending a valuable item. So you want to secure it by extra taping and all, some extra security you need, some insurance you need. So that you can say as header, in which you will be sending the extra security if you want. If you don't want, then don't send it. Okay. So that is called header. Now, with all this detail, when I'll be hitting it, so it will give me a response. Response is what? It is again the data itself. Response is again the data itself, which I want from the API and I'll be using in my application. Understood?
Yes.
Okay.
So these are the four basic things I will say. If you want to test an API, these are the four basic things. One is the endpoint, you can say as the address where the post will be delivered. Second is the body, that is the content which you have kept in that post to be delivered. If you do, see, there may be scenario where you will not have body also. That means you don't want to send anything, just you are sending a blank post. There may be scenarios also. Okay. Next is the header. Header is the extra authentications. which I'm trying to do. That means extra safety feature which I'm trying to do in the post. If that post is valuable, if that post is not valuable, I can send without header also, without any extra security. That also I can do. This is mandatory. The address is mandatory, but this body and header is optional. If it has, then use it. If don't have, then you cannot use it. That's up to you. And when you hit it, you will get a response. Just like once you deliver that post, a postman delivered to the post, then you will give the OTP, right? So you can say this is that OTP or the data which I'll get it. And this data I'll be using to show it in my UI. This data I'll be fetching it and showing it in my UI. Here, where? Let's say I just here I will be. Let's say I got anything from the API and that data I want to fetch it in the UI. Now, it not necessarily every application will be following that. Only those application has implemented microservices, they will be using that. If it is the older application and they have not followed microservices, then the data will be not be fetching from UI, sorry, API, and that will be used to show it in the UI. Okay, so how to validate that? Let's say you open any URL. I opened one URL. Now, just inspect. If you want to see which API are getting called, that also you can see. Okay. So when you inspect, if you click on that, there will be a network. So once you click on that network, there you can see all the API that is getting called. Let's say I just reload this page. So when I reload this page, see how much API are getting called. Because this application is not a small application. In this particular page only, I have, let's say, thousands and lakhs of data. Okay, so all the thousands and lakhs of data I cannot call in a single API. Let's say for this data, it is calling one API. For this data, it is calling one API. So like that, it has multiple APIs here. If you click on one of them also, you can see what are the responses for that. If any header is there, it will show you. If any payload means the body is there, that it will show you. Okay, and response also it will show. Response also it will show. Okay, let's say this API, I'll go. You can see the response here. Okay. See, here maybe something like that. See, image URL. If you click on that, this URL is for the image. So midnight black, value is midnight black. Somewhere it must be written here midnight black. Okay. So it will be somewhere here. Okay. So this data you are getting it from here. So image URL is means this URL. This image has a URL. Show from which URL it will show to the image. If you click on that, see, just open it in a new tab and you'll understand. So if I right click and inspect, sorry.
No.
See, this is the URL. That means this image is not like it is a part of this application. There is a URL for this image. Okay. There is a URL from this image. See, this is the URL. You go and click on this. Just this is the one it is using that application. It is integrated. So there is a URL which is stored. This image is stored in one URL. That URL I am using inside this application to show it. So this data is coming from where? This data will come from the API. You see image
API.
URL. Image URL, it is coming here. Rukmini, Flipkart, something. So this value it is using here and integrating it in the UI. So every data that you see are coming from this, but API response only. You have to use the API response value and use it in the UI to show things. That means this one, response, just like a response. This is one small response. Similarly, this is the real-time response I'm showing you for Flipkart. This value you saw, right? Here what you opened, just Rukmini, Flipkart, something right is there, right? Rukmini, like that it is there. So that value only you saw here, right? If you go over that image, so it will show you that image, that value only. See Rukmani 2, like that it is showing, right? See Rukmani 2, Flipkart.com. And then once you click on that also, It is the same thing only. Rukmani to Flipkart, something like that. It is there. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the all the new application, all the recent application, they will be using this microservices structure only. No one is using that old model. Okay. So here in this network tab, you can see all those what APIs that are getting called. So there are multiple APIs that are getting called. It's not like that a single API will populate all the data. Okay, for one product, maybe one API getting called. Even for inside that product also, for heading one API may be getting called. For the image, one API is getting called. For the this value price, one API is getting called. So multiple API will be getting called. Understood?
So yeah, so in the older model, we will be still calling the API, but API will
No,
just bring
you
all
will
the data at
not.
the same time.
No, no, you will
Okay,
not. You will not be calling APIs. That's the
okay,
difference. There is no API. API means microservice. Nowadays they are terming the term microservices. So people may think, what is this microservices? That is end of the day API only.
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Earlier they don't use all these things. That's why it was nowadays why development is faster because of this microservices. Now,
Right, okay.
let's say I have a microservices which will show me this heading and which will show me the value here and show me the image here. Now, same thing I'll be using. If I click on this, it will open a different page, right? Same thing I'll be using that heading, that value, that image. So same API I can use back. No need to create a new API for that. My code
Yep,
reusability got what increased.
increased. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
So
do we have like anything who is still using older method?
maybe some old application, but
Okay,
even though they are also migrating to this microservices page,
okay,
because end of the day that is costing more them, right? That will cost more to them to maintain it. So even if something is old, also they are switching it to microservices. Like it's
yep,
not like
okay.
it's new. I'll say it is started for 5 years, not like started in 2026. It started already
Yep.
from five
Yeah,
six
it's been
years.
there. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's not like something new. So uh, even though who have not using that also, they would have also, I would say, migrated. Okay. Now, so this is how things happen and why we need. So I gave you a fair idea what is API and how to use. Now here also you can see we have header. Okay, we have header. So header, there is a URL which I told the endpoint, which is mandatory. Then the method, which method I want to use, post. Mostly you'll see post only. Why? Post and get. Understood?
Hmm.
Now, next is this one, status code. Status code will tell you that your API is working or not. Not necessarily that there is a API means it will always work. The API may be down also. If API is down, you'll get something other than 200 OK. Something other than 200 OK means you will be getting nothing in the response. You'll get an error message here in the response. Rather
Yes.
than getting a data, you'll get some random error message. Like I can show you here. Let's say here if I delete this, it is not the expected. So everything should be correct. The header should be correct. The body should be correct. Everything should be correct. Let's say I delete this. Here I'm getting, see, success 200. Okay. If I delete this and just try to run it,
Click it there. Okay.
still it is 200. That means that is optional. So uh, maybe that is optional. So if it is mandatory means it will throw error. Let me try to delete this. What
Is this
is
a API dog? Is it like same thing like a postman, or is it
Yeah, same thing, same thing. It's just a tool. Like you can code Java in Visual Studio, IntelliJ, Eclipse, just like that. It's just a tool
okay?
which give you a base to run your APIs. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
It's not like it can be
Yeah,
Postman. You can
we
run in
use
Postman.
postman, yeah, mostly.
Most widely uses Postman. Nowadays they're using Bruno. Here you'll be getting 200. Okay. Okay. 200, okay. If everything is success, if it is not success, then you'll get something else. You'll not get also the response here, what you are seeing in the response. You'll get a response with error code. Request not found or server is down. Like this, you'll not get the values, what you are seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Now you understood the basic idea of API and what are API, why we need
Yes.
API and all. This is understood,
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So I have a site where it has given me some. Now also, thing is that not that every see whatever API are developed in this Flipkart, not necessarily that you can use every API. If you can use every API means you have access to all the data of that Flipkart. So that will be a data breach. So no company will allow all the API to be public. You are only seeing this or you can access this because these APIs are public. The sensitive data, they'll not, those API they'll not make public. That you cannot see. Because that if you have access to all the APIs, you can breach the code, right? You can breach any data. You can log in for any customer. You can,
Right.
let's say this is, forget about Flipkart. If this is a banking application, if you have access to all the API, you can log into any user's account and get all the details, right?
Yeah, all the customer detail, and you can steal all the customer detail and
Correct.
everything can
So,
be
yeah,
used.
correct, correct. So, for that reason, not that everything is exposed to public. They will expose only those API whose they think that is not of any security importance. That only you are able to see. That doesn't mean that you are seeing here 50 means only 50 is there. There may be some 60 or 70. Those 20 extra or 10 extra, they are not made it public because they don't want to expose it to the public. Understood?
Yes.
Yes.
So there comes, uh, let's say, forget about, let's say one application. There, if you want to see the content, you are doing a simple login, right? Yes or no? You're doing a simple login. Then only you are going inside that and able to see. If you don't have a login for that, you cannot go inside that and see the details. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yep.
For some application and for some application, there is no login. You can, there is never login only. You can go every time and see it. Let's say I open here, there are two type of application. I open here some news, right? Let's say Times of India. So here any user can open, you don't need a login. Yes or no? You can just come and read
Yep.
whatever is there, access the content. But maybe there
Mhm.
can be some sites where you need login. Let's say,
Facebook.com or
I,
something.
yeah, IRCTC or something like that. Okay. If I go inside that, if I go means I have to first log in, then only I can see the content. Yes or no?
Mm.
See,
Yes.
if I give this means I have to go and log in. Then only say log in and register. Then only I can access the contents. Okay. Sure. Why this feature is there? This is again user level authentication. See, the application itself has one authentication. See, this only the user who are registered can go inside that. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that data where you'll be passing it. What I told, when you are delivering a post, some extra security if you want, you have to do in the header. So that data, if in case your this thing application need this login feature and all, that data will be passing here in headers. All the authentication things that will be passing in the headers. Understood?
Mm.
Yes.
Okay. If you have, if you don't have, then no need. Okay. Now, what happens in real time is that if there is a login, let's say in IRCTC, there is a login. So there will be all the API will be needing this authentication. No API cannot work without that authentication key. So once you log in with your username and password, the authentication key will be created. That you have to use in this endpoint. Then only you can access it, or else you cannot access it. If it has authentication, if it doesn't have authentication, then it is not necessary. Understood?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll just show you a 2-3 sample things. Then we'll be going to our Playwright and see how to do that automation. Okay. Now, this is simple one. Okay. See, this is authenticated one. Okay. I'm not using that authenticated one because I need the API key. I told you, right? You need a authentication key. For that, you need a API key. I don't have API key. So I'm not using it. I'm using the public one in which I don't need any authentication. Okay. What is the difference? It will happen in header. You have to pass one extra parameter. This one. That's it. In header, here I'm passing right content type application.com. Similarly, if there is an authentication, then you have to pass this. Simple thing. Just you have to pass this. Okay. XAPI key and the authentication key. What is there? You have to pass that. If you are using the authenticated one. I am not using the authenticated one, so I don't need this. So there will be some value you have to give it. Okay. So there will be some XYZ value like this, you have to give it. If you are using the authenticated one in header. But not using simple, just you give whatever else is required. So if I go for this, sorry, public one, I don't need any header, just the URL, inspect. There is the URL. Right? Okay, yeah, this is here. So this is the URL just I need. Sorry. Control B. Then what is it is telling get method. So I have to make it get here. Okay, here are all the options which is available for your this thing. Mostly uses this get, put, delete. Okay, so I'm using get as it is get only, and it is telling parameters, which is optional. So I may not use it. Optional means you can use it, you cannot use it. So if I have to use it, then I have to use like this. Like this I have to use. Okay, like this means where I'll use that, I have to use here in endpoint. Okay, sorry, here I have to use ID3 like this. Okay, parameter that is optional. It is written right parameters. So I have to come here in parameter. I have to give what ID is equal to 3. I can give ID 3. Okay, this is optional. Next, what again it is telling? Response body type. So there is no request body. So I don't need a request body. Just delete it. There is no request body for this. Okay. It is telling there is no request body, no header. Just uncomment it. We don't need anything. Parameter that is also optional. I can also uncheck it. But it is optional, so I'm keeping it, no issue. Now what I can do, I can just hit it, send. So here you see, in response, it is giving me a data. That name is this, capacity is this, color is this, like this. And I'm getting 200. 200 okay means this is working properly. If anything other than 200 okay means your response is not working. Then you have to but there's a bug and the developer will fix it. Okay.
Yep.
So this is how I use for get. So let's go for the other one. So if I give ID3 means it will only give the ID3 data. If I don't give ID is equal to 3, so it will give all the IDs data which is present, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whatever is present in the database, it will give me till 13 it is present. So till 13 it will give. Okay. So that's why it's optional. So if I just uncheck it and send it, you'll see it will give me all the data which is present
Everything.
in the database.
Okay. It will bring everything.
Everything.
Okay.
So here params means I'm filtering it with a one data. Or 2, 3 data, whichever I want, I can add it one by one. So it will filter all those data. Understood?
Yes.
Now, the next is get. This is type get. Here, what it is telling, parameter ID that is required. This is not optional here. This is required now. It is mandatory. So I have to give a parameter. So parameter I have to give. That is not optional now. Okay. Then I can take this thing. I can take the URL. Okay. Then here also you see request body is there. Earlier there was no request body, but here request body is there. Okay. So I'll be going here. Control P. Okay. So type is what? Post. Okay. Now what I have to do? Content type. This is also required. This is not optional. I have to give content type application JSON. So header I have to give content type application JSON. Okay. Next, I have to give a body. Your body is also required. Without body, it will not work. Okay. Without body, if I click send, it will not work. See, it gave me something right 400. Bad request. Other than 200. What it is telling? Request body is missing, which is mandatory. You have not given. So I have to give the body. Body is in the format JSON, so I click JSON. I'm giving the body. Now, if I click, it will give me a request. Sorry, response. It is giving me a response. Let's see. Clear?
Okay, so get was to get the information from the database. And
Yeah.
what does the post do?
Post is creating an API.
Okay, to create the API. Okay.
Other two, put and patch to update an existing API and delete to delete an API.
Okay.
Correct. So put, patch, and delete. These are the 5 which we generally use. These all are there, but normally no one uses it.
Okay.
Head means only if you want the response header. Okay, this is the response body what you are seeing. This is not the, this is the body. Okay, if you go to a header, there's a header, right? If you do head means it will give you only this one. Header only it will give. It will not give you the body. Okay.
Okay. So this is like we created API. It means like we did not have any information regarding this
No, no,
particular.
you have not created a API. You created a data using an API. That means here you created one data in the database, this data, which you are seeing
Okay,
in the
not the
response.
API itself, right?
No,
Okay.
API you are not. API as a QA you cannot create. Developer only will create API and delete API.
Right. Okay.
You
So we just
created a
added
new
extra data in the
data.
database. Now, if we
Yes.
go and use the get command, this extra data will be available there.
Yes, correct. Okay. Understood? So you guys had
Yes.
now have a basic understanding of what is API and how, what are the users and how to access those. Yes, or no?
Yeah.
The same thing will be due. Now see, these all data only will be seeing in the UI. These all what I got in the response, Apple book, this thing. So here that only you are seeing, right? This it goes. So instead of that, it will be Apple book, this 22 GB price and all this data you are seeing here, right? Year, price, CPU model. This will be seen in the UI. That's it. Understood?
Yes.
So what happens in real time? There will be a front-end developer who will just develop this UI thing using React, Java, HTML, CSS, all this. He will just do this thing. Okay. This we see in Element. What you see here, that is the work of front-end developer. He will design this page. Means he'll just design the page. If you click on this, nothing will happen. Just the look and feel you can see. Just we designed, right? You forgot.
Yep.
We designed one page, right? HTML page.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
if I click on that, nothing will happen, right? Wait, I'll show you. We have also designed one page, right? This one. Now, this is the work of front-end developer. Open with Google Chrome. So here I have a button also. Here I have a checkbox, I have a button. If I click on that, I click on submit, nothing is happening. Just the front end. This is just the front end. And normally what happens in Apple is if you click on the button, something happens, right? Here nothing is happening. If you click, nothing will happen, right? I select, nothing will happen. This is the one we have created, right, in the class. So this is front end, work of front end developer. I have created just it is looking just black and white. Okay. So front-end developer, if I can create, then you may ask like, is it then why company are hiring? Obviously, they will hire. This who will see this application. No one will see this black and white. This need to be colorful like this, right? So for that, front-end developer comes. They will use CSS, all this thing, and have a good look and feel for that. So with that, your application doesn't work. It is just the front end. Now, what all values it will be showing here? That again, the API developer, that is the backend developer will do. Okay. Then the third set of developer will be your database developers, who will create the database which will store the data. Just like here only, three sections were there, right? This is the work of front-end developer. One team will be the front-end developer who will create this. One team will be the backend developer who will be creating the APIs and all. Okay, sorry, this one. Next is your database. Database developers we have, right? We create the database. Okay, we will store the data. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, let's create be just these two API only, which we tested manually using API.doc. That only will be automating and fetching the response. Okay, and the data from it. Okay. Now, create one test API. So, it's easy, right? API is easy, or you're finding difficult. Tell something, yes, no. Understood, right? What is API?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
For various. So we have to import one request. What happened? All import are unused. Okay. So we have to import one extra thing, that is request. Okay. So which will be using to, but this only will be using to create our automation script for API testing. Okay. So let's say write test. Okay. Now, first thing what I have to do is I have to, let's say first do with the post or get. What we have first. First we have this one, right? Get. Let's do the get one first. Okay. Get API test, first one. Okay. Now, so first I have to create one API context. Okay. First I have to create one API context. Let me create that const API context is equal to await request dot new context. Now, the first thing is that I have to create a API context. Okay. So await request dot new context, the request which we have imported earlier. Okay. The next thing is that I'll be creating constant response is equal to await API context. API context. Okay. Dot. We are doing for get. So dot get. What will be giving? The URL, the endpoint which we have used here. In API.doc, we have already done, right? We'll be using the URL. So we'll be giving this URL, get. What we did in the manual testing, same thing we'll be doing. Nothing different. First we gave the URL, control B. Then, did it had any body or header, anything for that? This get, it doesn't have anything. It just have a parameter ID that is also optional. So we don't need it. Only if we hit the endpoint using get, that will give me a response. That's it. It doesn't have any header, body, nothing. So no need of using that. Next, when we'll be doing for post, we'll be using the header also, we'll be using the body also. Got it?
Yes.
Now we got a response here. Okay. So I can just print the response to see whether it is the same thing what I was seeing for while doing manually. Okay. So that I will use console.log await response.json. So it will print me the same response which I was seeing here when I was doing manually using API down. What I was seeing here, the same thing I'll see. Just run it. This API space. Okay. Let's see what is the response it is showing me. See what you saw. Whatever you are seeing there, same thing you are seeing here. Yes or no? Response?
Yeah.
Because I just printed it.
Oops. Yeah.
If I were used parameter, it would have shown me just a single one. If I want to use parameter, then what I can do? I can give a question mark. Where is that? It is showing me. If you want to use parameter, that also it will show me how to use. Give a question mark, id is equal to 3. So it will give you only
Okay.
the one which
The
is id
particular
is
thing.
equal to 3.
Okay.
See in Playwright how simple it is to automate a API.
Yep.
Hmm.
See, it showed me only the id is equal to 3. That's it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I can also put a assertion to check that the status is 200. That means the status 200 I told you, right? I showed you also. If it pass means the status will be 200. If it fails, we saw one scenario where it was 400. That request,
Yes.
that also I can verify after I hit the request. That the response status is coming 200. That means it is successful. If it is not coming 200 means the test case will fail. That means it is not successful. Yes or no? Now this happened. This we understood how to hit a request and how to get a response. But in real-time automation, what we will do? In real-time automation, I will fetch one web element here. I'll fetch one web element here. I'll get the text what is coming here. Then I'll
Hmm.
fetch the value. Let's say this one. Let's say in real time what will happen? I'll go to this value. I'll write the XPath for this and get use dot text content. So it will give me the text which is showing here. That I will be trying to validate that this value is matching with that or not. That means it is correctly displaying in the UI or not. Whatever coming in my response, now the front-end developer will fetch the data from request and sorry response and it will show it in the UI. He has done it correctly or not, that also will be covering at part of our testing. Yes or no? He is
Yes.
fetching X and he may be showing XY. So for that, what you'll do, we have already learned how to read JSON in the previous class. Okay. So first thing what I'll do, I'll get the locator of that. See here there is no UI, so I am not able to see, but I'll just write the code to make you understand. So first thing what I'll be doing, where let's say the product name. Let's say I can write await page dot locator. Sorry. I have to use this page here. page.locator. So I'll have something like that. Now, so this I'll means I'm not using inside any application, so I cannot show you, but in real time, what we'll be doing exactly. So let's say this is the locator for this value, what it is showing in the UI, that Apple iPhone 12 Max Pro. Second thing, what I'll be doing, this I'll be getting from what? UI, what it is showing. Next, what I'll do, next I'll parse this JSON. We have already learned how to parse the JSON. So next, what I'll be doing, response where product value from API option from API is equal to await response dot data 0. See, like this it will happen. Wait. So what we have to do? Tell me. This is how we'll be parsing the JSON we learned, yes, in the previous class. So product value from API, that is the JSON we have stored. This whole JSON I have stored here. Then this dot what? Actually, this dot data, not this dot 0 only, because this is the array. So we are accessing the first element. Okay. So 0 dot what? Name. So it will give me the name. So this I can validate, expect the product which I got from the UI to be this one. Understood? So it will match the value coming from API and the value which is shown in the UI, if it is matching or not. Understood?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Now what's the confusion? See, first I have to get what I am getting in the UI. Whatever it is showing in the UI, that text statement I will fetch it out. Second, what I did, this maybe you are not getting Ankit because you have not attended or maybe not seen the recording how to parse the JSON. If you go through that, you'll understand.
Yes.
So here I am
Okay.
getting the value of this using the JSON parsing. Then in the next time I'm just validating this is equal to this or not. That's it. Assertion. I'm using assertion. That's it. So in real time only
Okay.
you will be doing this only. In automation, while doing API, so you'll be doing that only. You'll getting the value and to match the value what is showing in the UI. If it is matching means it is correct. If it's not matching means your front-end developer not mapped it correctly, it is showing something else. That's it.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so if I just do console.log, this I'm just commenting because we don't have the UI now. So we'll just do console.log. You can see Apple iPhone 12 Pro Max, it will just print here. That's it. Console.log. So let's print what is coming here. Okay. See, after printing that response, okay, this is for this one. Okay, console.log. So I've just, for this, it printed the value, Apple iPhone 12 Max, which I fetched it from here. Understood?
Yes.
Saranya? Okay.
Yeah.
So this value you got it from API. Next, you can get the value from UI and just asset it. It is equal or not. That's it. In real time, that only happened, right?
Yes.
Next. Next, we'll be doing for post. We'll see. This is, you saw, very simple. You didn't pass any body, you didn't pass any header. Next, we'll see, we'll be passing both body as well as header. Okay, then you'll understand how to pass it from automation. Okay, test post API. So next is art question. So for this, it got closed here. Need one more. So next is your post API. So post API, we have this one, which is the one that the next one. So this is the post one. Okay. Get we saw. The next is the post one. We'll see how to do the post, because here we'll be passing both body as well as header. So we'll see that how to do that. So this is the URL for post. Okay. So the next thing which I have to be passing, first is the URL. I passed it. Next is your data. Okay. Next is your data. Data means the request body. What request body I'll be trying? That is the data. Okay. So let me store that in one constant payload is equal to, let me store that request body. Yeah. Okay. So I stored that JSON in one, let's say here I could have given directly, but it will become more clumsy. So what I did, I created a variable and stored the request body. That is the request JSON here. Understood? So in data, I can just give that payload. So what will happen? It will take that request body. We are passing a request body here, yes or no? And when passing one request
Yes.
body, right? This body I just give there. Okay, I created one constant there. I stored that JSON that I am using here. Clear?
Yep.
Yes.
Next,
Yes.
next I have to pass header. Header is also compulsory there. So I have to pass header. For header, what is required? Only one thing, content type application JSON. So I passed content type. If something else was required, I could have passed that also here. No problem. Understood?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So this completes my header. So now this will complete my post request. Okay. So I got the response here, right? I got the response here. Now if I want, I can also print what? Print the payload. What I got from here. Just I am just not printing the payload of this one, because two payloads will get confused. Just I'm printing the payload for the second one. That's it. Okay, so you can see the payload. So here we passed the data, here we passed. So if there was one more header, then would have given comma, then I've given that header also. Let's say there was some authorization, I can give that authorization, X authorization something, and give the authorization key. X API key, your API key, like this I would have given. Okay, that also I would have done if there was something extra. But there is no operation here, so I'm not passing it. Okay. Very good.
Okay.
So this is optional. You can only pass data also. No need, not necessarily that if you're passing data means you have to pass header also. You can either pass only data, you can either pass only header, you can pass both of them. That's up to you. Whatever the requirement of API is that you have to do that. All depend on the API requirement. Okay. Now I'm
Okay.
printing the response. I'm printing the response. Sure. Let's see. We'll get the same response what we are seeing manually. For first one, I'm not printing anything. So you'll not get confused. Only for the second I'm printing. Okay. First we
Okay.
have already said. The second I'm printing. See, second it printed the values. Understood?
Yeah.
Yes.
So This is how we'll be doing what? API automation in real time. Similarly, if there was a delete or patch or put, same thing you can do, right? Here only, instead of this one, what? API context.post. If there was put, just use put
Right.
here. If there was patch, just put patch here. If there was delete, just put delete here. If there is something data, your body, then pass it. If there is some header, pass it, or else you don't pass it if it doesn't have. Only the thing change here is the command. Post, instead of post, there may be put, there may be patch, there may be delete. That also you can do.
Okay.
Understood?
Yep.
Clear? Understood how to do API automation using
Yes.
Playwright?